except x should not be equals to here, x should not be equals to 2n plus 1 pi by 2, because all the pi by 2, like I will show the cos x graph here. Just see the cos x graph. Cos pi by 2 is 0, cos 3 pi by 2 is 0, cos 5 pi by 2 is 0, cos minus 3 pi by 2 is 0, cos minus 5 pi by 2 is 0. So that's the reason, because denominator should not be equals to 0, so the domain we should not take as a all the real numbers except 2n plus 1 pi by 2. Okay, then what is the range will come here? All the real numbers minus of minus 1 to 1. I will show the graph here. See here, the values comes all the real numbers, but here just check it out. 1 is your value, output value, and minus 1 is also you have the output value, but in between minus 1 to 1 there is no outputs here. So that's the reason the range is all the real numbers minus of open bracket minus 1 to 1, because minus 1 and plus 1 is included in the real number. That's the reason we have to take minus 1 to open bracket minus 1 to 1. So now we have to take the restricted domain, which will become our restricted domain. If I take minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2, for the same input we will get the same output. For the different input we will get the same outputs. That's the reason it won't come. So you have to take from 0 to pi. So the values for the different inputs we will get the different outputs. So it satisfies the one function. That's why you have to take here 0 to pi. Now see here, what is the range? The range is same. All the real numbers minus of open bracket of minus 1 to 1, because in between minus 1 to 1 there is no outputs here. That's the reason. So the domain will become here 0 to pi minus of pi by 2. In the pi by 2, in the exactly pi by 2 there is no value here. Just see here. That's the reason we have to subtract the minus pi by 2. So the range will become here all the real numbers minus of open bracket minus 1 to 1. Now secant inverse x domain will become the range of the secant x. So the domain of the secant inverse x is r minus of open bracket minus 1 to 1. What is the range here? The range is close bracket 0 to pi minus of pi by 2, because in the pi by 2 there is no value. Just see here, in the pi by 2 it's not touching here. The graph is gap in for the pi by 2 here also. So there is no domain for this one. That's the reason you have to subtract here minus pi by 2. That's the reason the range is also 0 to pi minus pi by 2. Then the graph of secant inverse x we will get like this. This is the graph of secant inverse x. Okay, in your textbook is there, you can check it out. Next is tan x. What is tan x in terms of sine and cos? It is a sine by cos x. Sine by cos x, again in the denominator it's cos came, like similar like a secant x. So denominator should not be equals to 0. That's the reason the domain of the natural graph of tan x is also same as it is secant x. So all the real numbers except x is not equals to 2n plus 1 into pi by 2. So in the cos pi by 2, cos 3 pi by 2, the value will come 0. That's the reason all the real numbers except x should not be equals to 2n plus 1 pi by 2. And the range will come here all the real numbers. All the real numbers. Now see here, all the real numbers. In the previous secant and cosecant inverse, it will showing the gap in between minus 1 to 1, but it's coming all the real numbers. Okay, so now we have to take the restricted domain. Restricted domain, it's minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2, because in the minus pi by 2 for the different inputs we have the different outputs. So we have to take here minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. Minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. Again the range will come all the real numbers